Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Unsettled weather will continue this afternoon as warmer air pushes into the region. Highs building in the mid to upper 60s. Scattered showers with the chance of thunderstorms. The threat will continue tonight. Some storms could be strong through this afternoon and once again overnight into the start of your Sunday morning. With your Storm Team 27 forecast, I'm meteorologist Paul Wetzel.
Hi, this is Dan Rivers. Are you recently retired or an older adult looking for a vibrant senior community? You'll feel right at home at Copeland Oaks. Residents can relax and enjoy with a carefree lifestyle. And they have a continuum of care that ensures that residents are comfortable and safe no matter how their needs change. Proud to announce, by the way, on-site skilled nursing facility Crandall Medical Center recently named Ohio's #3 nursing home. Call now for your personal tour and ask how you can receive a free month's rent. 330-938-6126.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and here with you on this Saturday. We could talk about things in tech. We could talk about things that are in current events. There's a ton of stuff that we can go into. I open the floor to you all program long. So if there's something you need, want to talk about, I'm here for you. We have local talk radio in this area, so it's such a blessing that we're able to have this megaphone where we can get stuff off of our chest and feel better about things and spread good information and express ourselves. So we're really blessed that we have local people on this station, the support of the community, and all of you great listeners out there that support us with your dollars and your attention when there are so many other distractions out there. I mean, we need this more than ever as a way to bind a community together. You need some positivity out there too, and I am the man for the job to kind of keep us on the straight and narrow. I mean, I'm telling you, as these things progress where we get stuck at home more and our options get limited, we need to keep our imaginations flowing and have hope and be looking out for one another. And I know, when I get into these modes of community, binding the community together, I truly mean that. And it's not just a feel-good thing. It's not just a hippy-dippy sit around in a drum circle and sing Kumbaya. It's literal. We're given this great opportunity to hit the master reset button on all of us, and you can see it if you follow it on any social media. Where we, thank goodness that we have social media. Where one part blessing, half part. Whatever. The jokes keep flowing, the memes keep us entertained, and we get to keep our eye on other people. For one, I love information. I love collecting news. I love being informed. I love, taking everything, even the silly. I like to pay attention to, and just so that I have all of the details. If somebody says, "Did you see ... I'm always severely disappointed if I didn't run across something someone's referring to. And, the problem is that even I get run down. So, I own a business. I own Youngstown Computer. I have 7 employees that depend on me and my decisions and my ability to traverse these kinds of critical moments. And so I've been putting all of my effort and emphasis on knowing everything to do or everything that's going around and all of the rules and all of the changes. And so I'm hanging on every word of every press conference to find out if I'm going to give good information to my guys and to tell them what it is that they should do or look forward. I mean, these guys are looking at me for not only guidance as to what's going to happen next, but also, hope that everything's going to be okay. I believe in the human spirit, so I think all of us, all of the right things are happening. Sure, it's uncomfortable, but the way that I look about this is, as long as the crisis applies to everyone, you got to think of it as like everyone is paused. It's not like somebody's going to have, a head start. The financial system's on pause. Pretty much life just hit the big old pause button. And I know a lot of our stresses come from the unknown or lack of information or lack of knowing what's going to happen next. And so if I give you any assurances, it's that we're all on pause right now. So our lives will one day resume. It could be a week. It could be a month. It could be whenever this thing gets better and safer. But your bills will still be there, and everybody's making sure we got lots of time on our hands. See, it would be one thing if we hit the pause button and then we didn't have enough time to kind of sew things up. But I got on the phone almost immediately and talked to my lenders and said, hey, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm going to take advantage of the fact that you're willing to push loans back a month, and I'll call back next month to do the same thing. So pretty much all of the
urgent weather message. The National Weather Service in Cleveland has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Trumbull County in northeastern Ohio, southeastern Portage County in northeastern Ohio, northern Mahoning County in northeastern Ohio until 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 1:08 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Vienna Center to 9 miles southeast of Ravenna, moving east at 55 miles per hour. Hazard, quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, minor damage to vehicles is possible. Locations impacted include Youngstown, Warren, Boardman, Niles, Campbell, Hubbard, Canfield, Newton Falls, Lordstown, Vienna Center, Hilltop, Maplewood Park, Leavittsburg, Austintown, Struthers, Girard, Vienna, McDonald, Holland, and Craig Beach. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with these storms. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with these storms and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Ohio: Mahoning, Portage, and Trumbull.
So we are back, and that was important weather updates here. Got some active weather here in the valley. As I was saying, I've pretty much called all of my big lenders, and they've been totally gracious about kicking some of those things forward. As far as like, that everything's going to take a hit. Just these last couple of weeks, our receivables in the company have almost trickled down. So I had to make sure that all of the expenses trickle at the same rate that the income, and across the board, everybody has been great about that. So if you haven't done it yet, call some of your lenders, call your credit cards, call your auto loans, call your mortgage, all that kind of stuff, and tell them that, hey, you're in the same boat that everybody is, and you need a little bit of help. And every one of them has said, sure, we'll make it so that we will not let anything that happens during this month affect your standing. And all that does is reset it for the next month, and then you begin again. And if the same thing happens, if we get into next month and we're in the same boat, then you call again and get them reset. And that's how you can get most of this stuff to pause. So whether or not you've gone on unemployment or you're dipping into savings, hopefully a lot of our expenses could automatically, because we're confined to a house, that those things recede anyway. So I just want to let you know that that's what everybody is doing. Okay, so if you haven't done it, get on board with it. Invest some of that time to slow the rest of your life down, and then once that happens, things are going to really move in slow motion a little bit, because think about it this way: you're going to be playing different games and doing different things as we progress. My family, we've gone through tons of board games already. We played Boggle, and we played Trivia Pursuit, and we're taking out the vibrating electric football game, and we're dabbling in stuff that normally we don't have time to do or invest in, but we're looking around right now and saying, hey, this is good quality time. So I just want to let you know that we're all in this together, and I'm already and every day looking out for people that we can lend some support to. I started seeing some.
An urgent weather message. The National Weather Service in Cleveland has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Trumbull County in northeastern Ohio, northeastern Portage County in northeastern Ohio, until 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 1:12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Ravenna, moving east at 70 miles per hour. Hazard, half-dollar-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, people and animals outdoors will be injured. Expects damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Locations impacted include Youngstown, Warren, Ravenna, Niles, Hubbard, Newton Falls, Lordstown, Garrettsville, Manaway, Vienna Center, Hilltop, Maplewood Park, Leavittsburg, Girard, Vienna, McDonald, Wyndham, Yankee Lake, Churchill, and Howland Center. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Ohio: Portage and Trumbull.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And so, as I was saying, that we're on a constant pursuit of checking on people we care about and just people we run across, because there's going to be some people that don't have a solid core family or companions or family or friends that can keep company and keep people engaged. And so as you go days and days through this, you're going to have to keep those people in mind, that sometimes all it takes is a little bit of a phone call to let people know that they still matter, and to let some people talk a little bit. And, thankfully, I know as much as you hear me talk on this program and the other web programs that I have, when it comes to being in person, I'm a much better listener than I am a talker. So that if anybody out there, even in this audience, needs someone to talk to or is feeling a little bit bad, find me over on social media, and I'll be more than happy to talk with you and bring you out of a funk if that's what you got. But we just got to all stick in and hang together. And again, thankfully, we have the technology that allowed us to communicate and connect with one another. And I'll tell you, it does make a big difference between reading text on on social media and using Zoom video chat to see someone's face and interact. My kid goes to Montessori of the Mahoning Valley, and he and his classmates got on a Zoom chat, and he got to talk with however many kids connected in, and got to see them and interact with them, and that was huge. And so if you haven't played around with video chat, add a couple people, publish your chat ID, and team up with some people, and maybe it's a matter of just having a conversation or getting together, but try to do that pretty regularly, because it's super easy to get into that funk. And it's super tough to get out of it once you're there. So while you're still in really great spirits and you have your health, let's keep it there and keep each other sort of motivated to keep in this state of mind and this spirit. Because, I mean, honestly, I've seen so much good happening all around me, whether it be with my church or the people in my community, or even just in my neighborhood, how everybody's, banding together and communicating. Somebody mentioned to me yesterday that there's a meme that when we were allowed to do and go anywhere we wanted, the kids would sit in the house and want to do nothing, right? But now that we're confined and can't go outside, everybody wants to be outside. It's so amazing how the human consciousness works that way. And so, yeah, take advantage of it and, connect with your immediate family, keep everybody safe. But if you can get some distant interactions in the neighborhood, take advantage of it. Not a real good day for that today because of the rain and the threat of storms here, but keep that in mind once the sun does shine next week, to get your butt outside and do some stuff. 330-729-9977. And like I said last week, I don't care if we talk a stitch about technology. It's in our wheelhouse, and it's in our tool belt, and it'll enable us. But if we want to talk about people and humanities and connecting, and I'm all up for that too. So it's my job here, as you in the listening audience, you keep me motivated and going, and it's my responsibility the other way around to give you guys something to look forward to, and talk about some provocative things and get you thinking and get you off of your common or your current plight. And because the world is so much bigger than the moment. This thing will pass, and it'll be a memory, and we'll have a story or two to tell about it. But it's not going to define us. It's not going to be just a blip on the radar of your lives. So, pull yourself out of it, and let's have some fun and learn some stuff. I had a great conversation with a staff member about, when is the last time that you just had a block of time that nobody was keeping track of, that you could just immerse yourself into learning any new thing that you wanted, and you have this internet thing sitting in front of you that basically has the depth of all human knowledge from the beginning of time that you can immerse yourself in, that you can just start grabbing everything you want. So Sponge Joe is just living this up. Like you have no idea how much new stuff I've learned over the last week and a half. And I've worked a halfway decent road schedule. IT is still an essential services. So we're supporting the doctor's offices and manufacturing, and we're still getting the data stuff to flow around. And so I'm working. It's not a full schedule like normal. Normally I go to 8 stops a day, and I'm working from early morning to dinner time. But now I work some early morning, and then I'm waiting, and then I got a couple things in the afternoon, and then I'm waiting, and then going from there. So anyway, again, we'll get back to normal eventually, and we'll throughout it let's key in on. And here's another thing. I interrupted myself because I want to do more for community stuff. So I want to open up some ability for somebody sitting at home that has some creativity, and allow them to Skype or give me a video feed and then broadcast them. I want to basically highlight. I think it's a shame if you have genius people who the genius stays locked up in their head and are never able to dance on stage and show the world about it. So I'm going to put some venues together so that remotely you could throw on your microphone and camera, your webcam, Skype with me, and I'll give you a big stage to see what you got. We might be able to unearth some real hidden talent that otherwise we wouldn't have get a sampling from. So I had that idea this morning to do that. If anybody has any interest in doing that, find me on social media. I'm just Joe Danier on social media. So go find me over there. John, I see you out there. I'm going to take your call as soon as we get back from this break. 330-729-9977 or text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be back.
Around the world,
on the border,
crisis,
around the country,
impeaching Trump,
or around town.
Main Street America.
The news never stops, and neither do we.
Mulla.
It's enough. 570 WKBN.
You'll be glad to know.
Fox presents iHeart's Living Room Concert for America. See once-in-a-lifetime performances by Alicia Keys, Backstreet Boys, Billie Eilish, Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day, Camila Cabello, Dave Grohl, Her, Mariah Carey, Sam Smith, Tim McGraw, and more. Performing from their living rooms into yours. Hosted by Elton John. And we'll salute organizations like Feeding America and First Responders Children's Foundation.
Tomorrow night at 9, listen to Hit Nation on iHeartRadio and watch on Fox Youngstown.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying.
It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one.
You can try a full 30-day bottle of
P3 Advanced. Free. Just pay shipping and handling.
No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free.
Call 1-800-476-0414.
Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no-strings-attached free bottle, you must call now.
Call 1-800-476-0414.
Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer.
Call 1-800-476-0414. 1-800-476-0414.
Talking about the coronavirus with children and teens can be overwhelming for caregivers. The Child Mind Institute has provided the following guidance to help alleviate some stress and anxiety. Don't be afraid to discuss the coronavirus. Be developmentally appropriate. Be reassuring. Focus on what you're doing to stay safe. Stick to routine and have ongoing conversations. Visit childmind.org for resources, support, and daily Facebook Live sessions with child psychologists. Childmind.org.
I'm Dr. Amy Acton, and I'm director of the Ohio Department of Health.
It's really important that you have access to the most reliable, trusted source of information. Please come to our website, coronavirus.ohio.gov.
Furnished by the Ohio Department of Health and the OAB.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Youngstown Computer Show here on 570 WKBN. This is your weekend show. Talk about things that are happening in tech. We're suspending the template, and we're talking about just anything that's on your melon. So if anybody needs insights or want to talk about, share experiences, we're opened up the whole program long for you. So let's go right over to John. John, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
I just wanted to expand a little bit on the depression that can set in for people sitting at home and everything that's going on right now. Fortunately, I'm still working. I'm a rural mail carrier in western Pennsylvania here. And it's amazing how the general public is treating the delivery service right now. At Christmas time, they treat us like we're kings and queens. But right now, it's unbelievable how people are just, they won't talk to you. They won't answer their door. We can't deliver certified mail the correct way right now. Hand-to-hand pass off for packages. I had a guy the other day tell me to lay the package in the driveway. He wouldn't even take it out of my hands.
Wow.
It's almost like you're looked at like you have the disease or something, and it's tough. I'm generally a very happy person, but it's extremely difficult to deal with whenever your customers you see on a daily basis, they don't even want to interact with you right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's because most people are scared. I mean, it's hard not to take that personal when you probably did a little bit of thriving on the interactions, right? I mean, that's part of the benefit of your job is you get to see people.
Yeah, and I'm a very customer-oriented person as a mailman. I try to do the best I can for my customers, go above and beyond, and that really makes a difference. A lot of people do appreciate that and they let you know, but it seems that anytime something goes wrong, they certainly let you know about that too.
Absolutely. So if somebody is afraid for those interactions, but they still want to communicate with you, how about a peace sign at the window or something like that to let you know that there's still some love, right?
And that's exactly what is happening. I had a lady I delivered a package to yesterday. When I came up to the door, she didn't open the door. She normally opens the door, asks me how I'm doing and everything. But, she offered me everything from a mask to sanitizer to gloves. Do you need a water? Would you like a coffee? All this kind of stuff. And really, that is just, I'm so appreciative of that because it doesn't happen enough. And as much as you see on the news right now about people on the front lines, risking their lives to still go to work for this virus going around, I have not seen or heard very much about the USPS service. You hear about FedEx, you hear about UPS, but you don't hear anything about the Postal Service. So anybody that's out delivering right now, I'm giving you a shout out, telling you, keep it up. We're doing a good job. It feels like Christmas time again with as many packages as we're getting right now, and we're so overwhelmed. But just hang in there. It's working, and we're doing the country a great service.
All right, John, thank you so much for being out there. Thank you for doing everything that you do for the rest of us. And I'm going to tell you that all of our delivery services are keeping tons of people off of the streets and out of the stores so that our country could have that separation that's going to keep us healthy. If it weren't for guys like that going out there and taking that risk for us, there would be many, many more people that would be still being infected and transmitting the disease. So thanks everything that you do, John. We really appreciate you and all the rest of you. So it might feel like you get these extra packages. The one consideration as consumers that you have to get, remember, every purchase that you do is going to require that John leave his family and make delivery. So we have to be conscious that we're asking another person to take a risk. So I would, I don't mind people doing the shopping to keep them out, but don't do shopping that you don't need because you know someone else is going to deliver it, because that's not fair. So I can appreciate that John's keeping us safety, but let's try to only do it sparingly where we absolutely have to, because John's willing to go out there and risk it. We want to make sure that we don't do it, take that for granted. So we got to take it super serious. So thanks again, John. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and take some of your phone calls. I'll also read a couple of the text messages. You can reach me here, 330-729-9977. You can also text me at 330-333-1570. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about magnet fishing. And if you follow me on social media, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm going to spend a couple minutes on the other side of the break and talk a little bit about magnet fishing. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
You want that new or used vehicle, but your credit score isn't exactly what you need? You work hard, you've always paid your bills. Who can you turn to? Hi, this is Tino Merlo from Toyota of Warren. Stop in and see me or my staff. Toyota of Warren's here to help, and we can get you financed.
Tired for no reason, muscle weakness, or high blood pressure? The cause can be as simple as a vitamin D deficiency. People in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania do not make enough vitamin D, and it affects their health. Listen this Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. for more information. That's Sunday at 8:30 a.m.
Here's some of the stories we're following today. The death toll in Ohio from COVID-19 continues to rise, including a fifth fatality in the Mahoning Valley. New numbers will come out sometime today. Governor Mike DeWine signed into law a bill approved Wednesday by the state legislature in response to the pandemic. We'll tell you about that bill coming up at the top of the hour. 2 employees at the Arconic Niles plant have tested positive for COVID-19. Trumbull County has reported 2 deaths from the virus. There's now 24 cases in Trumbull County. Trumbull Regional Medical Center has put into place a targeted temporary furlough program for employees to help navigate the novel coronavirus pandemic. Governor Mike DeWine says the peak of the virus is projected by mid-May. The state will need 2 to 3 times the amount of hospital beds, according to the latest projections from the Cleveland Clinic. We'll have more on these coming up at the top of the hour. From the Columbiana Cadillac Buick Chevrolet Newsroom, drivecolumbiana.com, I'm Dave Price.
Your next update is at the top of the hour from the O'Charlie's Studios. Open for curbside to-go orders or delivery with Grubhub or Uber Eats. News Radio 570, WKBN. For your home or business, call Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Unsettled weather will continue this afternoon as warmer air pushes into the region. Highs building in the mid to upper 60s. Scattered showers with the chance of thunderstorms. The threat will continue tonight. Some storms could be strong through this afternoon and once again overnight into the start of your Sunday morning. With your Storm Team 27 forecast, I'm meteorologist Paul Wetzel.
Hey there, Dan Rivers for Window Nation. Boy, I tell you what, unprecedented challenges we face. You know, many homeowners need new windows right now. They want to keep their number one investment up to date. And Window Nation is doing all they can to keep their employees working. In order to provide immediate relief to homeowners in need of windows, they will defer payments on your new windows for 2 years. It doesn't matter if it's one window or if it's a house full. You get 2 years. They also are temporarily reducing prices by 50% on all styles. And they're offering you the option of live virtual video consultation or in-home estimates to keep you and your family safe. They're doing all they can to make sure you get your windows with not a nickel down. You don't have to pay for them for 24 months. Very important you call, though. 866-90-NATION. 866-90, then spell NATION, or go to windownation.com and tell them Dan Rivers mentioned them. 866-90-NATION. They're doing all they can to get you windows. 866-90-NATION.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means the prescription medication to treat ED is super affordable at 4hims.com. And now get your first online doctor's visit free at 4hims.com. That's right. Zero copay, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. That's really good news. To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/joy.
With uncertainty in these times, here's something that is certain. Save money on your wireless bill with great customer service when you switch to Pure Talk USA. Plans start at $20 per month depending on how much data you need. All plans include unlimited talk and text. Pure Talk covers 99% of Americans and are confident you'll love their service with a 1-month risk-free guarantee and 50% off your first month. Go to puretalkusa.com, enter promo code SAVE50. That's puretalkusa.com, promo code SAVE50.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We're spending some Saturday afternoon with you on the dreary, rainy, little threatening day, and opening the phone lines to you and text messaging. If you have anything on your mind you want to talk about, we were just talking about talking to a postal carrier who's definitely feeling the sort of the separation between who he's used to serving and not being able to interact with people, and it's just it's a disconnected route anymore. So if you have a way to just give the guys a thumbs up, let them know they're doing well, they're feeling it. I mean, because you got to think about it, where even though they're doing it and they're willing to do it, it's not something that they're probably super excited or stoked about doing, right? So if we could just take it easy and be delicate and not abuse it, that would be awesome. Text messages, don't bargain on the April 12th salvation. Yeah, and there's and this is how I see it. I'm an eternal optimist. And when I do sort of my vision board and I start looking forward to things that are going to happening so that I can manifest what's going to happen next, I get into that optimistic deal where I start talking about and I have to make it audio in order to make it real. So I have to say that we're going to get stuff back together again, and we're going to get organized again, and we're going to do this stuff. And reality is, you could look around and say, well, no, that's not even close to being real. But as I start to program my actions, I have to say that out loud. So a little bit of that, where it might be a little bit of extra zeal on whether or not it's even possible to do the 12th, but honestly, if you're gonna get people hopeful, you got to start talking about the finish line, because that's what keeps people in the race, when you can talk about where the end looks like. And if anybody needs some hope, that's it. So regardless of how you feel about the leadership through that, I think that piece of it, where we start talking about what the end looks like, it's super important. I mean, I just said 2 seconds ago that this will end. And we will get by this, and we'll be stronger because of it, and we'll have learned something. But in the moment, it doesn't feel like that's even a possibility when you're sitting at home and your whole world is upside down and different. And let's see, next message. That's I don't know. Don't forget the utility workers too. We're still out here keeping your power, gas, and water, and that is and everything, every essential service that you are dependent on. Whether or not we have the internet system, right, where it is buckling. Remember, it used to be that businesses were during the day, and then residential was in the evening, and so they can slide bandwidth around because usage were staggered. It wasn't usually overlapping. Now we got everybody at home all day long, and these networks are just over capacity. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. I mean, for the first week, it was hit and miss. It was in and out, and there were some hiccups along the way. But I think they're doing a fantastic job keeping up with the extra, because that is a lot of users to dump all at one time. So the internet providers, especially you got coupled with storms and thunderstorms in the spring here, with power outages and wind and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, we're doing distancing and keeping everybody away from one another. So everybody who's balancing that out and providing those services, we do salute you and thank you. Water department, sewer department, trash pickup, even producers at radio stations all have to serve the greater good and help us stay connected and stay functioning. So we all really do appreciate and appreciate you guys standing in there. The IT workers, my fellow IT workers, I'll tell you this. I'm a germaphobe anyway. And the reason I became a germaphobe because I am literally touching everybody's keyboards when I go around. Do you know how many things I pick up when I have to touch your mouse, right? And you just ate your chicken wings and all that other gross stuff. Like I gotta touch that. So early on in my career, I wasn't afraid of germs, but I was super. I use hand sanitizer a lot. I wash my hands a lot. I didn't do the Lysol wipes like I do now, like incessantly. But still, I was to a point where everybody mocked me for always having a 55-gallon drum worth of hand sanitizer in every room that I occupied. And every time that I walked by it, I always did a couple of pumps, right? And I was ridiculed. I'm not really ridiculed, but I was ribbed along the way because of that. And now we fast forward to now, and during commercial breaks, we're instead of kicking back shots, we're pumping on the hand sanitizer and wiping everything down. So it's definitely a change thing. But anyway, all of my IT workers that have to touch other people's stuff, I literally have taken Lysol wipes under my arm as I go around, and I wipe down anything I'm about to touch, and I hand sanitize it. And my phone has been bleached in hand sanitizer, and I've taken it to the extreme, of course, because like I said, when we're forced to touch other people's stuff, you got to have a certain amount of safety along with it. And I'm not necessarily afraid of the whole coronavirus. I honestly think that all of us are going to have to get exposure to it and get it at a certain point. And honestly, I'd probably rather get it before the hospitals get overwhelmed with a bunch of people getting it. I don't pose any kind of health risks as far as I'm not unhealthy. I have no immune system problems, and breathing-wise, I'm in pretty good shape. And so if anybody's going to get it and be okay with it, I'd probably be okay. But I do fear, like I said, the biggest part about it is the reason that we're telling en masse everybody to stay home is because the people who can't stomach this are sitting there at the disadvantage of the carriers, all of us healthy people that are walking around with it on our clothes and in our lungs and don't even really know it. And that's what we got to defend against. And so, when the postal carrier is really feeling that, I mean, literally the person on the inside of the door is playing it smart, even if it's a tough kind of love to hit. But that's why it's so important for us to we have to extend a ton of grace for each other. We got to really overlook the fact that, this is not a normal thing and it's not anything personal, but at the same time, knowing that guy on the other side is feeling that and is a little disconnected from the people that he loves and serves. Can you imagine if I went and fixed your computer and you kept me in a bubble and you didn't talk to me and maybe you didn't even write a note and let me know how I did? I mean, we need some words of affirmation here, right? We need to be able to tell each other that we're doing a good job, and we're just not getting that feedback. And that's why I said last night that if we've got sadness that's going around and people are feeling that we need to pick each other up. And don't be embarrassed about it. I mean, this isn't like a mental health crisis. I mean, regular time we have mental health crisis. We have things that are biologically or chemically that need professional help. But this is literally all of us who are on normal mental health are going to feel the repercussions of the disconnection. We are built to connect with one another. And when we don't have those connections, we feel it. I mean, you've seen the studies where they took a baby and the worst experiment on the planet is they separated it and it had no human contact, and the thing died, right? So that just shows you just how much being around other people is necessary for everything. We get chemicals that help our immune system when we have touch and we have kind words and we feel good. And so I wanted to spend a good bit of today just reminding you, and if I can implore you to go call 6 people a day, have a list of people you care about, and connect with them. And it's going to cost you like almost nothing to do this. And it sounds hippy dippy, right? It sounds like it's a little much. It sounds like it's a little thick. But I'm telling you, those 6 people. And if we just agree that we're going to touch base with everybody and use the most non-technological ways possible if we need to, and just keep in communication, so very important. And I'm not just saying that. These are not just words. These are what I feel is going to keep all of us in this fight and not let things get to a point where that we don't want them to be. So that's what I'm going to. That's my recommendation here is to call 6 people a day. And if nobody has called you within the week, I want you to talk to me, and I will make sure that I put you on my phone list. How about that? All right, so magnet fishing. So all of us have been experimenting with new stuff to do. We've been, we've pulled old games out of the closet, and we've done different things. Now, my family, we are weird, right? Joe will look at like kind of these really off the wall things. Like one summer, I watched a video about gold panning, or it might have been even a television. It was a television show. There was a television show on public television. I think it was PBS, and you had these dudes that would go out to streams and they would pan for gold. And I thought, oh, I've never done that before. Let me try that. So I bought all of the gold panning equipment. And my family, for a summer, when we went camping or hiking or whatever, I'd lug this stuff back in the woods with me, and then we'd sift through the dirt and the rocks, and we'd try to find gold. And it was little flakes of gold, little tiny, like hours and hours and hours to get almost $0 worth of gold. But it was so cool to be able to go through that process and learn that skill. Well, anyway, my son and I watched a video about magnet fishing, and think of it like a nylon cord, braided nylon cord, attached to one of those clips that hikers use when they attach themselves to the side. That's those little, I don't know what they're called, but one of those. And then on the end of that, you put these really strong magnets, like super strong magnets. Like the one I was using could lift 1,200 pounds. That's how magnety these magnets are. That's not even what I know. Anyway, so you take these magnets and you throw them into bodies of water. You drag the magnets through the mud and the dirt and all that kind of stuff, and it picks up stuff that's settled to the bottom, and then you get cool finds. Like we got a bunch of bottle caps. Like I really love, from the Industrial Revolution all the way through the 70s stuff, like the way that we were using steel in everything, right? And so that's what I was looking for, is finding these old relics. Now, unfortunately, everything that you find at the bottom of a lake is usually pretty rusted solid, and you can't make out what it actually is. There's not going to be many pristine, 70s bottle caps that are at the bottom, but I know the ones that I find that are all scaly and don't have any paint left on them, I know that this is from a bygone era. I just feel it. So anyway, we started going around to some of we bought a set, and basically it comes with a super strong magnet with a loop on it, and then the cable and some gloves, so that, you pretty much all the rocks in these rivers are ferrous, so they stick to the magnet. So you got to scrape all of these jagged, shaly rocks off of there, which are pretty sharp. So you need a good set of gloves. Well, anyway, you throw it in the lake and you drag things through, and you find all kinds of cool treasures. And so the first time we went out, we found all your typical stuff. So we found sinkers, we found some lures, we found some fish hooks, some treble hooks. So all of the normal fishing stuff. And then we got a whole tackle container full of stuff, right? So somebody dropped it in there, and I found it and dragged it out. The next time, my kid got involved. So he went with me the first time and watched, and then the second time he started dragging. And one of the first things that he caught was a Daisy air rifle. And I can't tell how old it is. It's been in the water for quite a bit, because the stock was actually not plastic. It was wood, and so the wood was really deteriorated. It did say Daisy on the metal part, but it had a painted sight on the front. So I know it probably wasn't 50s, 60s, 70s. It wasn't super old, but it was cool that he dragged a gun. Now, my heart stopped a little bit. I'm fishing out of Mill Creek Park, and I see my kid, and he pulls a gun out of a lake. And that's one of the fears and anxieties, but also the excitement is that people have offloaded weapons into lakes for not great reasons, right? And so that's what you really do and don't want to find at the same time. Someone on Facebook said that you don't want to pull a murder weapon out of a lake, because that's how you get ghosts, and he's totally right on that. But anyway, so you get these magnets, you drag it out. So the things we found were a Daisy air rifle, a combination lock, bunch of fishing lures and stuff like that, some bottle caps, a sign and a sign post, and the big monstrosity, the big gargantuan find was a full-size helium tank. And so he snagged it, and he couldn't pull on it. I thought he could have snagged it on a rock, but he couldn't pull on it. And so I'm just really ripping this thing out, and it goes bloop, and this thing floats up, and it scared me for a minute, because it looked like a buoy when it came to the surface, because it was huge. And then and again, like I started floating it over, and I said, that is a freaking helium tank. Or not necessarily a helium tank. It could be for welding or oxygen or whatever, but I'm calling it a helium tank just so you can visualize it. So anyway, I pull this, 100-pound helium tank out, and it's all scaled up. Later, I'm going to take a brush and see if I can get the label off and see if I can figure out how old the thing is and how long it's been sitting in there. And then yesterday we went down to Lake Glacier, and I went to the bottom part of the falls. I was on the top part because I figured anything might have over time kind of made its way along the bottom and might be resting against the falls. But I went down at the bottom to see what was going on down there, and almost immediately I got a knife, and it was a tactical knife that had a police engraving. So it's probably, maybe an officer went down there and he had to cut some things out of there and dropped his knife in there. But that's what I'm going with on this one. But yeah, this whole thing, I mean, it's new to me. I've never even heard of magnet fishing until we saw the YouTube video. But it is a lot of fun. It's like treasure hunting. It's like, what are you going to pull out of there? And it's probably pretty interesting if you can grab scuba gear and a mask, and if it was clear enough to see anything, to just go down to the bottom of that lake and just sift through it. It's probably like a junk pile where you never realize how much crap is just sitting at the bottom. And I don't know if any jewelry or rings would stick to it. It's got to be ferrous, and I think gold is not. But maybe if it's got steel or something that will stick to a magnet. But you're not going to get any nuggets. And I'm even wondering if like an iPhone or a cell phone would stick to this magnet. I halfway want to attempt it, but magnets and electronics don't play nice together, so I don't necessarily want to experiment on anything that is important to me. But yeah, just another one of those things where if you pay attention to the internet, you might run across some weird thing that you might want to try. The dudes that we watched on our first the YouTube video for this magnet fishing thing, they were just fishing off of a bridge, and they found a motorcycle, a whole Harley Davidson that somebody had stole and then backed into the lake. And so they ended up finding and solving a problem with a stolen motorcycle, truck beds, and they actually found a couple of weapons and knives that they had to turn into the police. But again, nice family thing, interesting.
The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Mercer County in northwestern Pennsylvania, southwestern Venango County in northwestern Pennsylvania, northeastern Lawrence County in western Pennsylvania, northern Butler County in west central Pennsylvania, northwestern Armstrong County in west central Pennsylvania, western Clarion County in west central Pennsylvania until 2:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 1:49 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Slippery Rock, or 7 miles southwest of Grove City, moving east at 55 miles per hour. Hazard, quarter-size hail. Source, radar. Impact, minor damage to vehicles is possible. Locations impacted include Newcastle, Grove City, Slippery Rock, New Wilmington, Oakwood, Newcastle Northwest, Chicora, Harrisville, Parker, Plain Grove Township, Inlenton, Bruin. This includes the following highways: Interstate 79 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 102 and 118. Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 12 and 47. Move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Please report severe weather by calling 412-262-1988, posting to the National Weather Service Pittsburgh Facebook page, or using Twitter at NWS Pittsburgh. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 2:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Pennsylvania: Lawrence, Mercer, and Venango. 8 p.m.
Our prayers go out to the American people during this trying time. Fairway Ford is here to take care of your essential vehicle needs. With Ford's help, we can now offer you 6 months with no payments. So shop from home on our website, fairwayfordohio.com, and we will work out everything over the phone and or email. We are here to help. Just give us a call to avoid face-to-face contact at 330-533-FORD. That's fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway is the way we do business, and God bless America.
Newsflash. Good oral care habits keep you healthy. That means brushing your teeth for 2 minutes, twice a day, and flossing regularly no matter what brand you use. Quip makes things that make good habits simple, starting with an electric toothbrush, refillable floss, and anti-cavity toothpaste. Quip's electric brush has sensitive sonic vibrations with a built-in timer and 30-second pulses to guide a full and even clean. Their well-designed floss dispenser might make you actually want to floss, with pre-marked string to help you use just enough. Plus, Quip delivers a fresh brush head, floss, and toothpaste refills to your door every 3 months, with free shipping, so your routine is always right. Join over 3 million healthy mouths and get Quip today, starting at $25. And if you go to getquip.com/mynews right now, you'll get your first refill absolutely free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/mynews. Quip, the Good Habits Company.
Disgraceland, a music and true crime podcast about musicians getting away with murder and behaving very badly, hosted by me, Jake Brennan, is back with Season 5. And you're not going to want to miss new episodes on Guns N' Roses, Jay-Z, Prince, Ozzy Osbourne, Nipsey Hussle, Run DMC, Selena, The Rolling Stones, and more. iHeartRadio is #1 for podcasts, but don't take our word for it. Find Disgraceland on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. Just finishing that thought about magnet fishing. Mayor out on Facebook says that it would be fun to take a boat out on Erie or even Milton and Berlin and do that, or one of the quarries over in Hillsville. I mean, I could think of all kinds of bodies of water, because you got to think, like, people as they're getting in out of boats or fishing, stuff falls into the lake out of their pockets. So there's got to be a trove of stuff, that's out there. That's the kind of stuff that I'd like to see. So thanks, Mayor. Appreciate it. And so, yeah, I mean, we're going to keep doing it. We got equipment that he and I are going to visit some spots, and we're going to keep adding some riverbanks, some lakes, and all that kind of stuff to see where the hot spots are, and see what we could find. So it's a lot of fun. And again, that's what's cool about having this break away from normal stuff, is that you can get out there and, especially in nature, campgrounds and hiking, and you just get to be away from other people and enjoy the weather. And we have got great parks around here. We've got great woods and rivers and whatever. My biggest fear wasn't coronavirus. My big fear was E. coli from being in the water. And no, there's a big sign when you walk in there to be aware of it. But I think this is quite the season that E. coli thrives in. So I think we're pretty safe there. But anyway, go out, have some fun, and be safe out there. And here's another request that I have for you. And I know that we do a lot of political shows here, and we do things that are provocative, and the whole goal is to kind of get points for the other team. And let's see if we can.
Urgent weather message. The National Weather Service in Cleveland has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Trumbull County in northeastern Ohio, central Portage County in northeastern Ohio, northern Mahoning County in northeastern Ohio until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 1:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Newton Falls, or 11 miles southwest of Warren, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Hazard, $half-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, people and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Locations impacted include Youngstown, Warren, Ravenna, Boardman, Niles, Streetsboro, Campbell, Hubbard, Canfield, Newton Falls, Lordstown, Vienna Center, Hilltop, Maplewood Park, Leavittsburg, Austintown, Struthers, Brimfield, Girard, and Randolph. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Ohio: Mahoning, Portage, and Trumbull. In West.
All right, guys, welcome back. That was important weather information. We're going to take this break, and we're going to come back at the top of the hour. We're going to have DeWine that's coming up, and then we'll follow DeWine with the remainder of the program. So if you want to get any text messages in with me, 330-333-1570. I'll read those when we get back. If there's any time between now and DeWine, we'll talk a little bit more about the magnet fishing as well. So 330-729-9977. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
If you have questions about coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, you can visit the Centers for Disease Control website at cdc.gov to get all the latest information. The CDC is our nation's health protection agency and works 24/7 to fight disease and supports communities and citizens to do the same.
This is Dr. David Vitko. Do you know the difference between not being sick and being truly healthy? Listen to my show, Enjoy Incredible Health, with Dr. David Vitko on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on 570 WKBN.
At the Regional Income Tax Agency, we've improved online municipal income tax filing through our system called My Account. By creating your own secure account, you'll experience faster logins, better customer service, and have your local tax information at your fingertips year after year instead of needing to be re-entered each time you file. I'm Don Smith, Executive Director at RITA, where we make meeting your local tax obligations simple and professional. Set up your account today at ritaohio.com.
On AM and thousands of devices, including Amazon Echo, Google Home, and Sonos. With our iHeartRadio app, 570 WKBN, Youngstown. It's 2 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. President Trump saying he's considering a quarantine of the entire New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut tri-state area, the epicenter of U.S. coronavirus cases. Trump speaking on the South Lawn of the White House today on his way to send off the USNS Comfort, a medical ship to assist the people of New York.
And it is loaded up with everything, so that's great. I just spoke with Governor Cuomo, and he's expecting it on Monday. It'll take about 2 days.
Cuomo today with some good news from New York during his daily briefing, saying the rate of hospital admissions has dropped over 1 day, with 847 patients hospitalized in over 24 hours today, down from 1,154 on Friday.
You see the overall trend is still up, but you could argue that the trend is slowing.
This as we learned of the first uniformed New York City police officer to die of the coronavirus.
Police Commissioner Dermot Shea announced the NYPD's first officer death from coronavirus, Detective Cedric Dixon.
We are hurting, we are crying, and we continue to fight.
Detective Dixon worked in Harlem. He was 48 and had more than 20 years on the force. Police sources told ABC News he also had underlying conditions.
This disease is particularly aggressive against people with vulnerabilities.
Dixon was the third member of the NYPD to die in a 48-hour period after 2 civilian members also died from the virus. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
COVID-19 death toll skyrocketing in Europe. ABC's James Longman is in London.
Many countries recording their deadliest day yet. In Britain, 181 fatalities in 24 hours. And Italy is reaching new depths. 969 dead in 24 hours. A continent in shock. The Pope offering a lone prayer from a deserted Vatican.
Concerns about the financial toll of the pandemic continue to grow. The IMF warning of an economic and financial crisis exceeding that of 2009. You're listening to ABC News.
The
death toll in Ohio from COVID-19 continues to rise, as does confirmed cases, including a fifth fatality in the Mahoning Valley. There were 1,137 cases confirmed in the state on Friday. That was up from 867 Thursday. New numbers will be released sometime today. Friday, Governor Mike DeWine signed into law a bill approved Wednesday by the state legislature in response to the pandemic. The bill prohibits water utility shutoffs, expands unemployment benefits, extends primary election voting to April 28th, but it must be done by absentee ballot. Call your county board of elections for information. It also waives state testing and report cards for the school year and delays the state tax filing deadline to July 15th. Governor Mike DeWine says the peak of the coronavirus is projected by mid-May, and the state will need 2 to 3 times the amount of hospital beds it currently has available. That's according to the latest projections from the Cleveland Clinic. Trumbull Regional Medical Center has put into place a targeted temporary furlough program for employees to help navigate the novel coronavirus pandemic. Most of the layoffs are for non-clinical and non-patient-facing employees. Those furloughed will not be paid but keep their benefits and can apply for unemployment. The layoffs come as elective surgeries have been canceled and as patients choose to put off until after the crisis subsides routine visits or non-emergency treatments. And right now, we're going to switch gears and we're going to join Governor Mike DeWine for his briefing today on the COVID-19.
Up to $1,200 per person. It gets resources to our hospitals and our healthcare workers immediately. It dramatically expands unemployment benefits. People will get $600 more a week. And people who are self-employed or work part-time or contract workers will also be able to get unemployment insurance. It gets emergency funding to the state and to cities and counties whose budgets are hurting. Puts a moratorium on evictions and foreclosures. No one should lose their home or be evicted during this crisis. If people can stay in their homes, it allows people to delay mortgage payments, called mortgage forbearance. I'll do everything I can to make sure that we actually ends up in the pockets of workers. We negotiated all weekend. While it isn't perfect, of course, the work we did over a couple of days made this a better deal for workers, for communities, for families. We know we have more to do. This crisis, of course, as we know, is different from anything any of us has ever seen in our lifetimes. It's going to take a sustained response over months to make sure people get back on their feet. We still need to make sure people don't take an unfair hit to their credit reports during this crisis. We need to help people with student loan debt. We need to support American manufacturers in their efforts to ramp up medical equipment production. For weeks, I've called on the president to immediately use his full authority under the Defense Production Act. His narrow announcement about GM yesterday does not go nearly far enough. It doesn't do anything to release funding for manufacturers across the country to help them swiftly scale up production of ventilators and testing kits and PPE and other key medical supplies. A week ago, after talking with Ohio manufacturers, I put out a plan outlining steps the administration needs to take now to get our hospitals the supplies they need to save lives. The Defense Production Act is part of that, so are purchase guarantees, delivery assistance, a national database, and putting one person in charge to coordinate all this. We need a massive coordinated effort between the public and the private sector. We know Ohio is a proud industrial tradition, and by taking advantage of Ohio's strong supply chain, we can help bring our healthcare workers the supplies they need. We know our country has the workers and the expertise and the resources to fight this pandemic if we come together. I look forward to working with Governor DeWine and Senator Portman and others as we continue our efforts to ensure Ohio has the resources it needs to combat this pandemic. Thanks again to Governor DeWine and Dr. Acton and their staff for the work they're doing to keep Ohio safe. I also want to thank General Harris and the National Guard who are working to get food to Ohioans in need. Thanks also to the frontline healthcare workers, the grocery store workers, the truck drivers and nursing home staff, first responders, and other Ohioans who are showing up to work during this crisis to provide essential services to the rest of us. And thank you to the media covering these briefings every day to make sure Ohioans remain informed during this difficult and confusing time. I'll stop there, and I again express my appreciation to Governor DeWine and Dr. Acton for having me on the call. Thank you.
Senator, thank you very much. We look forward to continuing to work with you and Senator Portman and the entire congressional delegation. We appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And you too.
So things may look a little different, and you'll notice that our call today with Senator Brown was a little less high-tech than we did yesterday with Senator Portman. And let me just explain that. We are in a little different situation today. We rely to bring this to you every day on a lot of people who are behind the scenes and people you obviously never see, but people who are very talented and do a great job. The Ohio Channel, for example, a number of the people at the Ohio Channel work very hard on this every single day. The Capitol Square Review and Advisory Board, number of their folks work at this every single day. PBS stations across the state as well. But something happened yesterday. Someone who works for Cap Square became ill, and they were admitted to the hospital with a diagnosis of pneumonia. And so knowing that, we started making a bunch of changes. We had to assume at that moment that this person might have been infected, and then we started looking around at other people who that individual came in contact with. And so we're a skeleton, a much smaller group behind the scenes today. In fact, Lisa Peterson, who is behind the camera. Lisa, how you doing back there? Everything all right? She's waving. All right, very good. She's my communications director. She's running the camera today. So a lot of changes. The sign language interpreters that are always in the side of your screen now are not with us. You should be watching, have the opportunity for closed captioning. Anybody who does want to see those very talented sign language interpreters can go online to the Disabilities Facebook page. Ohioans, that would be the Ohioans with Disabilities Facebook page. And you should see the live language interpretation going on right there. Now, having said that, we got good news within the last hour, and that is this individual tested negative. So still in the hospital, still with pneumonia, but tested negative. So we're very, very happy to hear that. I want to talk about some good news, but also to tell you we're waiting. And let me explain. Battelle Labs is one of the great assets, nonprofit research institution in the state of Ohio. They do absolutely phenomenal work. They do it for people all across the world. We are very, very lucky to have them. They have developed new technology to sterilize surgical masks. And we have talked about so much how we have a shortage of the mask, and I'm going to talk a little bit about later what you can do to help us. But they've had a real breakthrough. They will be able, as soon as it is approved by the FDA, they will be able to sterilize 80,000 of these per day per machine. They're looking to have the two machines are here in Ohio. They're ready to go. So that's going to give us, as soon as this is authorized by the FDA, it's going to give us the ability to do 160 of these, to turn them right around and reuse them. And these can be reused a number of times. This is not only important to Ohio. They have machines that are ready to go for Seattle, New York, and Washington, D.C. So this is a very, very exciting thing. I mentioned this today and want to start with this because I want to make a public appeal to the FDA. Please, please give us the approval to use these. We have nurses, we have doctors, we have people working in nursing homes who need the mask. They need these as we move forward and as we go further down the line in regard to the pandemic that we are in. This would significantly, very, very quickly, at 160,000 of these a day, would boost our capacity and be able to reuse these after they are sterilized. So we have been on the phone. I know the Lieutenant Governor's been on the phone. We've been on the phone with the FDA, and this is a public appeal. Please do this. It really is truly a matter of life and death. We need to protect our people who are risking their lives every single day. Thank you. We're happy to have in Ohio LabCorp and Quest that are doing testing. I'm going to make an appeal to them as well. We urgently need your tests. We urgently need the results as you do testing for hospitals. Again, this is a matter of life and death. It is a matter of getting that information back so that we can act upon it for the patient, but also act upon it for everyone else. People who are working in the hospitals, people who might be working in nursing homes. We need this information back very, very quickly. So it's my appeal to you as Governor of the state of Ohio. Please get us those results. We absolutely have to have those results, and we have to have them in real time. Thank you. I issued an order last night to all our team that every state contractor who has a state contract that they are fulfilling must abide, and they already were subject to this, but I'm now asking our state employees to go check with every contractor who is out there performing a contract that is an essential contract where they're able to still do it. We're asking my team to go out and inspect to make absolutely sure they're following the best practices and the practices that we have outlined in the order that we previously issued. They've always been subject to this. We're now making sure, and we're going out and having these inspections. So if you're a state contractor, you're essential, you're still continuing to do business.
Urgent weather message. The National Weather Service in Cleveland has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Mahoning County in northeastern Ohio until 2:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 2:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Canfield or near Columbiana, moving east at 65 miles per hour. Hazard, quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, minor damage to vehicles is possible. Locations impacted include Youngstown, Boardman, Campbell, Canfield, Austintown, Struthers, Poland, New Middletown, Lowellville, and Greenford. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 2:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following county: Mahoning, Ohio.
The same thing I talked about yesterday when I referenced the chart. That same report indicated that we might have to not only double our capacity of beds, but we might have to triple the capacity of beds. So there is a real sense of urgency. We have been working with 8 regions in the state. We have broken the state up into 8 separate regions. We are working with each region of hospitals. These hospitals submitted to us at 9 o'clock this morning. Each region did. Each region had a report about how they want to proceed. Bridget in the office, as well as Dr. Acton and others from General Harris's team are taking a look at these. They're going to get back to you all. Those of you who sent these in, they will be back to you tomorrow, Sunday, with ideas, suggestions, so that you can continue and finish up your final report to us, which is due by noon on Monday. I want to point out that there are some imperatives, some basic principles in regard to these plans and the rollout of these plans. And probably the most important thing is we cannot get through this by each hospital doing its own thing. The only way we can get through this is by all the hospitals in each region coming together, having one plan, speaking with one voice, and having a real commitment to continue to work very, very closely together as we move forward. So as we look at the plans, that is principle number one that is so very, very important. We also ask each region of hospitals to remember your community partners. There may be opportunities, for example, with your nursing homes, where people who are not infected, could go, and some of the space could be used and the beds could be used there. So again, we want you to look at the whole realm of possibilities out there. We know some of you are looking at motel rooms. We know some of you are looking at hospitals that have closed, but still could be brought up to speed very, very quickly. So that process is continuing, and we're very looking forward to getting the final reports, as I said, on Monday. General Harris and his team are ready to go. They're reviewing these. They will be in touch with you, and we hope to see some real action next week. We're moving from the planning stage now right into to be online and Facebook and other ways that they're bringing services into people's homes and into their lives, at the same time protecting people. Dr. Acton pointed out to me a couple minutes ago that there was in another state a very sad situation where a number of people who were at a service came down with the virus. So again, those